Tonight's band formed nearly 8 years ago in their native Chicago, where they are tonight at Q101. They debuted with Gish in 1990, which sold nearly 1 million copies. It was followed by Siamese Dream in 1993. Then it was on to headline Lollapalooza in 1994. And then following that was 10 months in the studio, coming out with a double album with 28 songs and over 2 hours of music, which became Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Please welcome in our studios at Q101 in Chicago, Billy. Hi, Billy.
Bonsoir.
And James.
Ciao, Bella.
The Smashing Pumpkins. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thanks very much for coming in tonight and doing the show. I guess, Billy, you know, the obvious thing that people have been writing about with this album is, oh, my God, it's a double album. Whoa, it's a double album. It obviously takes an incredible feat to put something like this together. Was this intended to be a double album at first, or was it just so much material that started coming out that you felt you had enough stuff to put this out?
We always intended it to be a double album from the very beginning. We set out to do it, and boy, we did it.
Did it good.
Yes, you did. But let me ask you this, though. After saying it, okay, this is going to be a double album, was there ever a point where you were self-doubting to say, I wonder if I can actually pull this off, or did you feel confident, or did it actually give you the inspiration to actually get it done, or the internal pressure?
No, I think we kind of took to the challenge of it. I mean, when we started, we've been a band about 6 years, and we've been through lots of different changes and permutations, and I think we needed something to kind of like get our blood going. And I doubted it a couple times, but I mean, I think it's kind of a crazy idea to begin with, and I think you almost have to go through some of those doubts to come out the other side and really kind of go with it. You know, because it's obviously not a good, you know, quote-unquote career move. You know, a lot of people didn't think it was such a good thing to do, and there was a lot of resistance here and there to the pricing and different things like that. So whatever, you know, it exists, and it's not going to go away. So we're happy about that.
So James, Billy comes up to you and says, "We're going to do a double album." What was it? What was your reaction?
That's pretty much what it was. It was stunned.
Yeah, we were shocked and stunned.
I think we had a general sort of meeting about it, and before we started the album, and I don't know, you know, everyone was. We started out sort of like kind of casually practicing, and I think the more and more songs that we started going through that, and it started like coming together. I think there was just sort of a momentum where it wasn't. I don't know. We never really talked about it being a double album. I mean, we just kept going through more and more songs. It wasn't like, oh, here we are today. We're going to do a double album, so let's keep that in mind. It was never like a self-conscious thing like that.
You ready, guys, for the phone calls?
Here we go.
Here we go. Our first stop is St. Louis, Missouri, and we're going to talk to Mike on 105.7 The Point. Hi, Mike.
Hey. How did you guys get the name of the song Bullet with Butterfly Wings?
That's a very good question. These, you know, messages from outer space come to me, and I just write them down, and then I assign them to specific modal progressions, which we commonly refer to as songs.
Well, that was the green quadrant, and what happened was the green quadrant is more like full of B's and A's and C's, so
you follow butterflies.
So do you guys, Billy, how do you get these transmissions usually?
You know, you have to be karmically tuned to the right, you know, frequency.
Good vibes.
So no special vitamins or anything?
A lot of zinc.
A lot of zinc. Okay, good.
Melatonin.
Chris is calling us from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and he listens to Mono Rock Live on Z104.5 The Edge. Hi, Chris.
Hi. I was wondering how y'all got your name, Smashing Pumpkins?
No, come on. I thought you were supposed to be screening these calls.
Always one gets through. You never know.
All right.
The name's Smashing Pumpkins.
Nice to the kid from Broken Arrow now.
All right. Well, I know. I'm sorry. This is coming from
He's been dialing all week.
Guitar player. We've been asked that question 1 billion times. So anyways, didn't Bob English come up with that? Like, he said Smashing Pumpkins, and you go, hey, that's a great...
No.
That's not what you told me. You told me it was like around Halloween. Bob goes, Smashing Pumpkins. You're like, great idea.
No, it was another one of those transmissions.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Yes.
All right, cool. Through Zinc. Smashing Pumpkins are with us live in Chicago. We talked to Kim in Baytown, Texas. She listens to Modern Rock Live on 107.5 The Buzz in Houston. Kim.
Hi. My
Hi,
question.
Kim.
You got my question?
Yes, please.
Excluding music, do you guys
That's
participate?
all we do, though.
Yeah. But do you guys listen or participate in any other artistically oriented performance?
We are mimes.
We can't show
Hey, mime
you.
is money. Mime is money.
Hey, we have another comedian over there in New York
I'm
City.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Right out of the Borscht Belt. Okay.
Now, to be honest, Kim, Smashing Pumpkins takes up so much of our time. I don't think we do anything. We don't even have friends.
Yes, I want to ask Billy, how was it different working with Flood besides Butch Vig this time?
Flood's a much more experimental producer, and he's kind of not very a normal kind of guy. So we would do a lot of
Abnormal.
we would do a lot of kind of like we'd say, how you want to record this song, and he'd say, oh, just go in there and play it like disco, and so we'd go play it disco, and then he'd take the tape and slow it down, and that's how we worked. We just kind of worked like that, and then the album was done.
Wow, cool. Jeff in Grand Ledge, Michigan on 92.1 The Edge. Jeff.
Hi. I was wondering, out of all the songs you perform, what's your favorite?
James, we'll start with
Perform
you.
live, you mean?
Yeah.
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 James, you want to go first?
Well, Zero. It's a rocker live. Let's see, from the last album, I would think Hummer's always a great live showstopper. Barn burner, as we call him. And from the first album, I think Snail's a really good song live.
Cool. How about
I
you,
like
Billy?
that song, Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones? Is that what? That's when you're in Counting Crows, silly. Oh.
Sam
All
in
right,
Georgetown,
he's just-
Texas.
He's just pulling your leg there. All right, let's hear
Hi,
it for
Sam.
Georgetown.
Hey,
Sam in Georgetown on KNX. Sam.
What's up, G?
what's the song Zero about?
Zero.
You know, like how they told you in math, like, when you multiply by 0, what do you get? You get 0. That's what it's about.
Our next stop is Grizzly Flats, California. And we're talking to Michael, who listens
that's
to
an
Modern Rock
awesome
Live on
town
Quad.
name.
Isn't that great?
Hi.
Hey, Michael.
Hi.
I was wondering how success has changed your life, and did you think it'd be all that it has been for you guys?
Billy?
Well, suddenly there's a bunch of hippies hanging outside my house. That's kind of weird.
Hey, man, that's cool, though. They just want to feel part of you.
Well, do you
no,
feel
it's
maybe, Billy, that with Jerry's death, maybe they're gravitating towards you?
No, we're not going to delve into
No.
that route.
No.
We respect the dead.
There is no,
Okay.
rock hath no vengeance like a deadhead's vengeance.
Yes, that's right.
That is true.
I like
That is
American
No,
Beauty.
I don't think success has really changed us at all. I mean, I think when we were younger, we thought if we were successful, we would pretty much be the way that we are, and it's proved to be true. I mean, I think it's got a lot to do with growing up in the Midwest. It's a kind of a more working class kind of vibe, and it seems to have influenced us in a lot of ways, more so than we probably care to admit to. So,
Right. Kim in Meriden, Connecticut listens to Modern Rock Live on Radio 104. Hi, Kim.
Hi, I'd like to know if you enjoy doing Saturday Night Live, and I'd also like to compliment you on the great job you did.
oh, thanks.
Thanks.
How was Saturday Night Live?
It's really cool.
Yeah, it would actually. I mean, it's actually kind of a stressful situation to play just one song and then you're off, and then skits and then one song. But it was actually. I mean, the sound's pretty good there, and it was fun. I had a funny red suit on, so that made it enjoyable.
The cool thing about the CD package is the fact that there's a booklet of all the lyrics in there, and that seems to be. I hate to say an art form, but something that seems to be missing from a lot of packages nowadays. Was this important to you to put this together, to have the lyrics in there this time?
Yeah, because people have been complaining for years that we never put lyrics on our albums, and they can't understand what I'm mumbling about. So I thought it was good, especially with so many songs, to finally put some lyrics on one of our albums so that people could understand what the whole album was about, you know. So
Yeah.
if you read through the lyrics, you kind of get some sense of what I'm going on about.
Right, cool. Hey, our phones are going nuts tonight, so we want to get to many calls we can tonight on Modern Rock Live, including one from Chris, who's calling us from Pryor, Oklahoma, on Z104.5 The Edge.
Hi, I was wondering what your musical influences were when you were growing up.
Melly, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think James James has a little different influences. I was kind of had a little more of the heavy metal action going on. A little bit of Priest, a little bit of Black Sabbath, Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Deep Purple, Cheap Trick, a lot of stuff like that. James was listening to that foo-foo English music. What kind of music was it?
James, what'd you like?
I actually, like, when I was in junior high, I was down with classic rock because of my brother, like your Zeppelin. And then when I hit high school, I totally went new wave, and I was totally down with The Cure and The Smiths.
Hazy
U2,
Fantasy.
REM. No, not Hazy Fantasy.
Eben Ozen, though.
Although I think I do own a Dead or Alive single. And
I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We just listen to a whole bunch of different things. It's not like we really listen to any one thing anymore.
Yeah. Right in your backyard, Rochelle is calling us. She listens to Q101 right there in Chicago. Hi, Rochelle.
Hi. Okay. I wanted to know what it was like, what you felt like when you first heard your music on the radio. And I want to tell you, I love you, Billy.
I love you, too. I'll tell you, hearing your own songs on the radio is still, even now for me, like a really amazing experience. It's kind of hard to describe. There's just something about hearing your song on the radio. It's a pretty amazing thing. I don't know if I can really put it into words, but it's pretty cool.
What was the first song you heard on the radio?
I think the first song I ever really heard of ours that was a good song was this song that was a Sub Pop single, Tristessa, that we later redid for our first album, but it was the Sub Pop version of it.
Mm-hmm. Where were you?
I was in the red van. That was the
down by the river.
Touring van forever. Yeah, down by the river.
From Chicago to Portland, Oregon, we talked to Kristen on 94.7 NRK. Kristen.
I was wondering if you guys think that music videos are important to the popularity of a certain song or band.
Yes.
Yes. Unfortunately so at this point, I think.
It's
how long does it take you to do a video? I mean, what's the process in there, particularly with your band? I mean, getting everybody together and and they're pretty intricate. They're not just performance videos. I mean, there's things to it.
Right.
About 6 hours.
Usually we just try and come up. Yeah, we just try and come up with some kind of whack concept. Usually that doesn't have anything specifically to do with the song, and these days they seem to take about 2 or 3 days. We used to do them in a day. But
who kept the ice cream
I don't
truck?
know. That was another one of those space transmissions that I get.
Who got to keep the truck?
No one. I think they sold it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I believe that the guy who had to drive the truck back to L.A. was attacked by a roving band of wolves, and the truck was never seen again.
Oh, that's too sad. Justin in Millersville, Maryland on 99.1 WHFS. Justin, you're on with Smashing Pumpkins exclusively on Modern Rock Live.
Hi, I was wondering, what's the meaning behind the song 1979?
Well, that's a good question, too. I can't really say specifically. I just kind of had this feeling. I used to get this feeling. I used to have this bad Camaro car that my parents gave me. And I used to drive it around, and there I was stuck in the suburbs of Chicago. And I used to get this feeling when I was driving around. It was like I wasn't free, but I felt kind of free because I was driving around. And I was trying to kind of get that feeling that you're not really sure where you're going, but you're going to get there somehow kind of thing. So that's kind of what it's about. I mean, the specifics as to they pertain to my life are not extremely important, but I think everyone can relate.
Hi, this question for Billy. What's behind that, like, Zero shirt that he's always wearing?
It's much like that UFC hat you've got on now.
Well, you know, seeing as I was playing the hero, I figured I needed a superhero costume, so I got me one now.
There
you go.
He's the hero of alienation and angst.
Hero Zero.
Zero hero. I like
Mike
that.
and
we can use that.
That's
with
it. There you go.
Promotion.
There's another song. Mike in Vancouver, Washington on 94.7 NRK. Mike.
Hello. I was wondering how you guys think you have matured musically since your first album.
James?
A little bit more of an
You wanna take
R&B
that one?
influence.
A little more R&B, James?
Yeah, a little bit more R&B. I think that this album, compared to the other albums, everything's more extreme. Well, I don't know. I guess
No,
it's
not at all.
Sure it is.
I think we're probably a little more songy. We used to be a little more kind of musical and kind of wanting to kick your ass kind of music. And I think we're a little more about songs now. You get old, you get boring, you don't want to rock as much.
No, but the rock songs are more extreme than our...
We're still kicking, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys still know.
That's what I'm talking
From
about, G.
From Portland, Oregon, all the way down to Houston, Texas, we talked to Joey on 107.5 The Buzz. Hi, Joey.
Hey, what are some of the other up-and-coming bands from Chicago to look out for?
Good question.
That would be James's department.
James, what are you hearing?
I don't know. Am I hearing from the streets?
How hot are the streets, James?
Hey, man, what's going on? What's the buzz, man?
What's the buzz? Well, I don't know. I'm sure you know all the big Chicago bands now. Farouk Assault, Liz Fair. But, there's a really good band that's we're friends of, Red Meat. And they're on Sub Pop. And they have a new record out, Bunny Gets Paid. So they're a really rocking band. And to plug the record label that me and Darcy started with this other friend, there's an awesome band called Full Fledged. And also Chainsaw Kittens are on there, but they're not from Chicago. Although the record base is in Chicago. Let me tell you another thing.
All right, then we'll charge you for that commercial. What's the name of the label, by the way, James?
Scratchy Records.
Okay.
We're just
Jennifer.
We're just getting our stuff together now.
Jennifer in Tucson, Arizona on KKND AM. Jennifer.
Billy, what inspired you to write Muzzle? And James, how is your dog Bug doing?
James, you want to answer the dog question first?
Bug is fine. He was a little overweight. I took him to the vet, and they said, he's a little overweight, James.
Yeah, I mean, the band's kind of alarmed because we don't get to see Bug as much as we used to, and he is fat.
And so he came in. Everyone was a little shocked. I feel bad.
And the dog is embarrassed.
He feels bad about it. So what we did, we sent him up to Darcy's fat farm to lose a little weight, and then he got in a few scraps with some other dogs. But he's lost a little weight.
Well,
good for him.
Put him on the muzzle. I'm sorry. I want to.
Yeah, what does muzzle? No, it's okay. Muzzle.
Yeah, muzzle. Well, I thought it'd be kind of funny considering everyone's always telling me to shut my mouth. To say all those things.
Who says that?
There's people.
Hey guys, great to hear you on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Wanted to ask you something about something I read in an article you did recently. You said something along the lines of you wanted this new album to be kind of like on the same level as Pink Floyd's album The Wall, or like a wall for the 90s. Was wondering what you meant by that.
Well, actually, I said that before we ever wrote the album. And I kind of started off kind of wanting to write this kind of, conceptual album. But as we wrote the album, we realized it wasn't really going to be that. So, in a way, it made that statement kind of ill-prophesized and pointless. So it's a good question. I think, the best thing I could say is having been through the experience of, writing this double album and everything that the band went through to record it and everything, it can only be what it can be, which is, what comes from you. And if you ever try and do something like somebody else did, it's not really a good idea. So, if that made any sense.
Thank you.
Although
Charles
it
in
does sound
Santa
a little
Rosa.
like the Layla sessions.
All right, so it does. We travel from Philadelphia to San Francisco, California. We talk to Charles in Santa Rosa, California. He listens to Modern Rock Live on Live 105. Hi, Charles.
Hi. My question is, when will you be starting your tour, and who will it be with?
January.
Yeah, we're actually going to be in San Francisco. Is it close to San Francisco where you're calling from?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be in San Francisco probably in late January or early February. We're doing a small tour on the east and west coasts of America in January and February, but we probably won't really do a big tour and hit all the normal cities until the late spring, early summer. So.
Did you decide who you're going to be touring with yet?
No, that's something that has to come later because you have to see what everybody's doing and their schedules and stuff like that.
Although we're not really talking, but we're miming to find out where other mime troops are right now.
I'd be there. I'd be there. No, getting on to touring, although, technically the rule is you can't do it twice, but did you like doing Lollapalooza, and would you do something like that again in that type of venue?
Yeah, I mean, Lollapalooza was an okay experience, and the highs were pretty high and the lows were pretty low. I don't know if we would do Lollapalooza in and of itself again.
Right. But a package tour is kind of fun in the outdoors thing.
Yeah, so we may do our own thing here coming up yet. We would like to do something, with 4 or 5 bands together or something like a good evening out summer kind of show. That would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Jonathan is calling us from Aloha, Oregon, who listens to Modern Rock Live on 94.7. Jonathan.
Hey, I wanted to know what compelled you guys to experiment with new instruments like the steel guitar and the harp and the chimes on disarm?
Boredom, really. I mean, the guitar, as for anybody who knows who plays the guitar, it gets pretty old pretty fast. And on top of that, the guitar's so used in rock music that it's kind of hard to find anything new on it. So I think we just started to gravitate towards, this makes a cool noise and nobody's ever used this kind of thing. So that's kind of where our heads were at, that kind of stuff.
And Billy, you just actually started playing piano recently, right?
Yeah, it's actually going on 2 years now. I can play basic play along with me piano, nothing special.
James, how do you stay challenged? I mean, as a guitarist as well.
Well, I guess we try just sort of different approaches to the guitar. I mean, I use things like, I like playing slide guitar a lot, and we used a lot of EBow on the album, which is this crazy thing. I don't know.
He owns stock in EBow here, so here he goes again.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's an EBow. It's this crazy thing. And then, I don't know, we just try to make it fit each song, and I dabbled around a little bit with samplers and keyboards on this album too, so I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to say. The guitar is pretty boring.
Johnny's calling us from Bellevue, Nebraska. He listens to 93 K-Rock. Johnny.
Yeah, what bands were you guys in before Smashing Pumpkins, and how long were you in those bands?
Billy?
Well, go ahead, James, after you.
Oh, James, you want to go first? Sorry.
Well, you said Billy, so just go ahead.
I was in a band called The Marked. The Marked. I was in a band called The Marked, M-A-R-K-E-D. That was the only other band I was in. That band lasted about a year, and I've only met one person in my entire life who actually saw that band. That was kind of interesting. And James, what was
How about you, James?
Band?
I was in a band in high school. Was the Feds, and then we turned into Snake Train, and we played out in Chicago a little bit. That was the only other band I was in.
Hello. I am here to set a precedent today in saying that I like alternative rock music.
By the way, join the captain for the big Christmas Carol show here in New York later on. Are you a big Star Trek fan?
That is right. I am playing the Tempest. It is a challenging role. I find it intriguing, visceral.
Obviously, the Pumpkins doesn't provide him with this full creative outlet.
I was like, Captain, you look really good in that Ebon Olsen t-shirt. Smashing Pumpkins and Captain are with us, and we're talking to Jeff in Bristow, Oklahoma on Z104.5 The Edge. Jeff.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what's next for the Smashing Pumpkins.
Star Trek conventions.
Death, I think.
Are you guys going to, well, you got to tour first and everything else. I mean, when do you think you'll ever get back in the studio?
Well, we got to tour first.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
One day at a time, man.
Okay. Lynn in Hondo, Texas on 99.5 KISS FM. Lynn.
Yeah. I was wondering, of all your albums, which one best describes y'all?
We'll start with you. You want to go James first?
Well, Gish is kind of sassy.
Well, I don't know about that. Siamese Dream's pretty sensational. Well, I don't know. I mean, they're all timepieces.
Yeah, they're certainly of their time. I mean, Gish, we were bratty young kids. Siamese Dream, we were LSD taking star trippers.
And now we're just jaded alterna rock stars.
Cool. There's your descriptions.
There you go. Steve in Bristol, Tennessee on X104. Hi, Steve.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I was wondering if any of y'all's like family was into music, and if like they were supportive for y'all, like playing rock and roll.
Yeah, my father's a guitar player, and he had a lot of influence on actually on how the band kind of started and you know the makeup of the band. So and I was just talking to my grandma, and she said that a lot of my family on my father's side played music and stuff, and I didn't know that. So I guess it does kind of run in the family for me. But as my mother likes to say, she gave me the brains. That's my mother claims for intelligence.
Has your family come to see you play live? I mean, is that kind of freaky?
Oh, yeah. All our families have been pretty supportive of the band's career.
We go back to our phones and talk to Dave in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Listens to 93 K-Rock. Dave, you're on with Smashing Pumpkins.
What did you guys put out the ripping album Pisces Iscariot, and do you guys play the covers at live shows?
What'd you ask about Pisces Iscariot? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, why'd you guys put out Pisces Iscariot? What was the whole idea behind it?
Oh, well, we put out a lot of different B-sides and stuff in foreign countries, and a lot of American fans had expressed interest in, you know, having those songs being made available. So, you know, rather than pay, you know, $10 for an import single for 2 B-sides, it just made sense to put the better B-sides all on kind of one compilation and, you know, have it be for, you know, roughly the same price as you would pay for just one single. And as far as the covers go, we don't usually play too many covers live just because there's so many original Smashing Pumpkin songs, and people get, you know, constantly disappointed if we don't play their favorite ones. So we try to, you know, get in as many as we can. And we've never been a very good covers band. I think we've recorded some good covers, but live I don't think we've ever really pulled any off. So there you go.
Good question, Dave. Thanks. Sabrina's calling us from Conneaut, Ohio on 107.9 The End. Hi, Sabrina.
Hi. I have a question. Do you have a fan club? And if you do, how can I get it?
We don't really have a fan club. On Siamese Dream, somebody at the record company mistakenly put, you know, that we have a fan club in there. You know, we have a mailing address. I don't think we put it on the new album. We still get mail through the address that's on Siamese Dream. And, you know, we've tried to do newsletters and things like that, but our schedules are just so crazy that we can't seem to be consistent about it. So we do get all the mail, and we do see all the mail, and we appreciate it. It's the mail is amazingly supportive, and we get a really good sense of how we're reaching people through the mail and to the people that we get to meet and talk to. So, you know, if you want to communicate with us, I mean, we do see it and read it. So it actually does have some meaning. You know, a lot of letters start off like with, "I know you'll never read this, but you'd be surprised how many of those letters I've actually read and have helped me through some hard times." So.
Oh, cool. Great. And again, if you want the address, it's on Siamese Dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Hi, Ryan.
Hi. I was wondering, how do you categorize your music, and do you feel your sound is changing?
Well, somewhere between the Spin Doctors and Derek and the Dominoes.
We've never known what to call our music because, you know, we've always embraced so many different styles of music. I mean, you know, it's some form of rock, but, you know, who knows what it is. And
I think we're now in the cyber rock vein.
Yeah. We call it we call a lot of our stuff now cyber rock. So.
Cyber
And
rock,
is our
okay.
sound changing? Yes, we're all changing. Even you're changing right now, Tom.
There you go. Yes, I am, actually. I really am. I feel like a better person after the show. Chris, in
But you
London,
feel
Ohio.
You feel dirty like you need to take
very
a shower.
Very dirty, like you've been in a coal mine the whole day.
All right. Chris
You
is
know what
with
I'm
us from
saying.
London. No, of course I know.
London?
Is, London, Ohio.
There's a bloody
103
English person on the phone. I want to speak to
103.9
you.
The Edge.
I've got a lot
Chris.
to say to you, bird. Yeah?
Good, Chris.
I'm sorry. English bashing.
He's scared of it.
Sorry.
I'm
Ask
American,
her
don't
a
worry.
question.
Okay. First of all, Billy, I love you. James, you rock. Just wanted you to know. Okay, and Billy, why'd you shave all your hair off?
Compliments.
Where'd it go?
Why'd you shave your hair? Yeah.
You know, I go through these weird changes.
Well, I mean, you remember how Spandau Ballet started. They were new romantics, and then they got into the military chic. Well, we're just doing that with his hair. All right?
Oh, it's that. Wow, it's a great analogy. You're absolutely right. That's right. Oh, good. Okay. So
Chris,
when
you'll
are we going to have
understand that reference, James? It's like 15 years too late.
Well, darn it, I'm a child of the 80s.
That's right.
What do you want me to say?
Most of us knew what you meant, James. Don't worry. I appreciate you doing the show. Two reasons. One, obviously, I'd be talking to no one tonight. And secondly is the fact that we got a chance to see a different side of the band that sometimes I think the press doesn't really highlight. And that's your sense of humor and everything, which I appreciate you guys
Well, that's the
playing
reason
along
why
tonight.
they hide it, because it's so bad.
Well, I liked it.
But
I thought it was cool.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're
Thanks for
welcome.
having us.
And oh no, and please come back anytime. And anytime you're always welcome to come back to the show.
What will be on next week?
Okay, cool. I'm Tom
Yeah, I
Calderone.
mean, you can bump that band, you know, right?
Peppers.
The Chili Pepper guys? Okay, we'll just bump them. No problem.
We're also playing
Good night, I'm-
Catskills sometime soon with a new comedy routine.
Anytime you're always welcome to come back to the show.
What will be on next week?
Okay, cool. I'm Tom
Yeah,
Calderone.
I mean, you can bump that band, you know, right?
Peppers.
The Chili Pepper guys? Okay, we'll just bump them. No problem.
We're also playing
Good night, I'm-
Catskills sometime soon with a new comedy routine.